Welcome to today's episode with Ron's Uncensored podcast. I got a special guest, Mr. Wendell White. How are you doing today, sir?
Man, I'm good, bro. How you feeling this
I'm
evening,
doing I'm
man?
doing all right, man. I'm kids free. I'm house free. The old lady's out, so that's you can't ask for nothing more than that. A little break, huh? Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, we all need that from time to time.
Exactly. But man, let's start from the beginning, man. Let people know your story and who's Wendell White.
Man, Wendell White, man, I'm a man from south side of Chicago, grew up, born and raised on the south side of Chicago, um, to a single mom of nine. Um, at an early age, man, was in foster care for early stage of my life. In foster care, and then from foster care, man, after I came home with my mom, things was just different. Once we got home, things were different. Crack cocaine had took over heavily. While we were in foster care, we was kind of hidden and secluded from that where we were located at, like in the south suburbs of Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, once we got to back home with our mom, man, we saw things were different, and man, I think that's when everything began. Like with the just the watching of the selling of the drugs, and my mom being involved in drug dealing. My mom never did drugs. She never smoked drugs. She never drunk alcohol. My mama didn't even curse,
Mm-hmm.
but she was involved in drug dealing.
Mm-hmm.
And at an early age, man, we picked that up, and then man, we kind of ran with it. And after mom's kind of moved to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, me and one of my brothers stayed in Chicago, and now it was the drug dealing along with the gang banging. We had joined gangs, and I think that was just the beginning of the downfall of the come up for me, because with the gang banging, man, it came so many obstacles, so many heartbreaks, so many dead friends, and going to jail, back and forth to jail, and everything that goes with the gang banging and the drug dealing, with the shootouts and the man, just everything that comes with it, man. And it was rough, especially growing up in Chicago and on the south side of Chicago, man. It was rough, man, and
So
it was some.
in a way, do you blame your mother for the actions of your life with going in and out of foster care and just turning y'all out to to the streets pretty
You
much.
you know what? That's a great question. And you know what? In my early stages of my teenage years, like 14, 15, 16 years of age, I did used to blame my mom. I used to blame her because it was like we going through all this, and this was after my mom. She had moved to Milwaukee, and she had found Christ and things of that nature. And she was the type of mom, she would just say, "I'm just gonna pray for y'all. I would never come find y'all. I'm just gonna pray and ask God to cover y'all." And as a 15, 16-year-old kid, you really don't understand that.
Hmm.
And it's like a lot of the things that we picked up, it was on your watch. And a lot of things that we didn't pick up, it was on your watch. So as a 15, 16-year-old child, you don't understand that. But as I got older, what I had to realize and what I had to understand, if I was gonna be angry at my mom, I had to be angry at my dad as well. Because he was
Hmm.
not he was no he was not a part of my life at all, you
Hmm.
know. So and then I started understanding that, as I began to get older and older, that my mom, she only taught she was only able to teach us what she was taught.
Hmm.
And that's a lot of things. If you look at society right now, and you look at our youth right now, and you look at the parents of these youth, they act like brothers and sisters.
Hmm.
They a lot of the stuff that our youth do, they get it from their mother or they get it from their father. These are things they're taught, the disrespect and everything that's going on with our youth right now. They're taught this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
No child is born disrespectful.
Hmm.
ADHD, and all that don't make a child disrespectful. You know, I work in the school system right now, and I hear a lot of that. You know what? That's his ADHD, and that's how ADHD. No, that's just being able to focus. ADHD don't mean you cursing teachers out and you fighting and you doing that. That has nothing to do with ADHD. Them are logical excuses why parents don't really want to step up and be parents right now. So we in the bind that we in the state that we in with our youth right now, because in reality, man, a lot of the parents that's out here, man, they only teaching children the things that they know. And then you have certain parents that was raised right, but would say, I would never raise my child the way my mom and my daddy raised me. They didn't let me do nothing, but you came out better. So why is you letting your child fall by the wayside when the way your mother and your father had you was better because it didn't make you worse. It made you better. But now look at your child because you want to be their friend instead of being their parent.
It's just a different generation. I know you're an older gentleman. I'm only 30 years old, but these kids are catered to too much. It's too many parents are, you know what I mean, are pretty young and the same age as their kid pretty much, and they don't, you know what I mean, they don't, you know what I mean, know the skills. They learn the skills on the go. You know what I mean? They don't got a grandmom or a mother that taught them life skills to teach their son. But I feel like, man, in general, you need both parents in these households with these kids, man. That's the only way we can beat these generational curses with these kids, man. That's why the youth is so messed up, especially black men. You know what I mean? We need that tough love from our fathers, and that man, you're doing a good job. We need that from, you know what I mean, our fathers. But you know what I mean, that is not the case. You know what I mean? A lot of people get, you know what I mean, a lot of women get stuck in that, oh, the white man's money is great. You know what I mean? That this the welfare system is a big target with us, but it's also a lot of us don't want to do right.
Absolutely. And what we got to understand, and I had to learn this. I had to learn this because I have 11 children of my own, right? And what I had to learn, parenting don't come with instructions, right? Parenting don't come with instructions. So the whole thing about it is not no such thing, you know, as a perfect parent. But you have to be willing to listen. You have to be willing to learn from mistakes that you have made, and you have to be willing to correct those mistakes, and you have to be willing to sit down with your children and let your children know when you made a mistake or when you didn't handle the situation in a right way. I was just talking to my 11-year-old daughter like a week ago. So, and I was just talking to her and I was just asking her, like, man, you know, you can always talk to me and mama about anything. You know, we was just sitting down, we was just having a conversation. And I asked, I said, do you feel like you could talk to me and mom, you know, about anything, me and your mother about anything? And she said, well, I think I could talk to y'all about something. I remind you, she's 11 years old. And I said, well, why you think something? She said, because it's certain things I don't want to, I wouldn't tell y'all because I wouldn't want y'all to yell at me. So right then and there, that put my antennas up. And what I had to tell myself is, now I have to start being a little softer with my daughter because I never want to lose that relationship where she feel like she can't tell me something. You know what I mean? And as a parent, we have to understand that they may be our children, but they still people. And we still have to respect them as people. We still have to respect what they're saying. It's a way that a child can say things without being disrespectful and get their point across. Now, I'm not saying that I'm about to sit there and let my 11-year-old child yell and scream at me and disrespect me. But one thing I will say is, as me and my household, I do give my children the opportunity to articulate themselves and tell me how they feel about certain things. And I think as parents, we need to do that because the way that we was raised, it was, man, stay in the child's place. You won't say nothing back to an adult. And I think that's the wrong way. That's not a correct way to raise a child, because you make a child feel like they can't talk to you about certain things. You know what I'm saying? When guess what? This kid going through the same thing that you probably went through that you could help him with, but you feel like you superior over him because you mom or dad. So now this child don't want to open up to you. Now they want to go they'll open up to the game. They'll open up to somebody that's going to lead them, that's going to take that problem and play on that problem or play on that issue and now your child is 6 feet under or behind bars because you wouldn't take out the time to listen. You know what I'm saying? See,
It's deeper. It's deeper than that, man. It's a lot of kids going through depression, man, and just taking their lives, man. And I was at the point where I was a kid, man, and you know what I mean, my mom and people used to tell me, man, men don't cry, and that's some soft shit, that's some weird shit. And I had to start thinking about it. I'm like, man, am I weird? You know what I mean? That show emotion, you know what I mean? And that shit real, that depression. Well, you have them thoughts in your head, man. There ain't nothing like it. You know what I mean? So we gotta be mindful of these kids going through a lot of different shit, and we need to be there for them mentally. You know what I mean?
absolutely. And,
That
and
that
you
Go
and you
ahead.
know what, bro? Not to cut you off. And you know what though? I'm happy you brought that up because when I be going places and I speak, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I always equate men with what the earth, Mother Nature is going through right now with global warming.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm about to break down to you, bro, on several occasions, I done got standing ovations when I break this down because people don't look at it like that. Now we look at global warming, right? And we saying that they stripping all this stuff out of the earth, you know what I'm saying? And now it's making, you know, wildfires and weather is bad. So as a man from birth, right? From the time we pushed out the womb, we are stripped from our natural resources. We're told men don't supposed to cry.
Mm-hmm.
Men, you know, if this 1-year-old or 2-year-old baby fall and scrape his knee up, the first thing we say is don't cry, be a big boy, be a big boy.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're stripping him from what's naturally put in him. What was God gave him emotions. God gave this child emotions. God gave this child feelings for a reason. So when you're stripping this child from this at an early age, saying, you know, boys don't supposed to cry, men don't supposed to do this, men don't supposed to do that. So now when this child get to 15, 16 years of age, what do this child have to hold on to? What do this child when this child is going through something? Because we have been taught since birth to suppress our feelings, to suppress everything that we go through. We shouldn't have feelings. We wrong if we feel. We less of a man if we feel. So now we got all this stuff we holding on to and in our hearts and in our minds. So now what we do is, yeah, at 14, 15, 16 years old, they do feel depressed because they feel like if I talk to somebody, I'm less than a man. And if and the men and the women that done raised me, if I go to them and tell them, the first thing they gonna say, you soft as hell. That man, stop being like a girl, stop acting like a girl, stop whining. When really, why shouldn't I be able to cry? Why shouldn't I be able to lay on my father's shoulder and cry and shed some tears if I'm not having a good day? Why shouldn't I be able to lay on my wife's lap, put my head on her lap and break down and cry because, you know, I got the weight of the world on my shoulders without her looking at me like I'm less than a man? But we have been taught, this ain't got nothing to do with just black men, this men in general.
Yes.
We have been taught this from day one. And that's why so many of our young men, they either breaking or they flip it to the other side because they saying, man, at least if I flip to the other side, I can be emotional. You know what I'm saying? I can have these, I can wear my emotions on my sleeve because they want to accept me like this. If I was a man, they wouldn't, this wouldn't be acceptable if I was a man. And I just think, bro, that's where we go wrong with it when telling our young boys, man, you supposed to be a man, you shouldn't cry, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. Because now you stripping them from all their natural resources. So when they bump into that young lady who they want to coat, they don't even know how to treat her like a young woman. They don't even know how to talk to her. They don't even know how to articulate to her because they want to be this rough and tough guy. And all she's trying to do is break you down and see what's going on with you. But you got these guards up because you don't want to be a man. And you see it all over the world right now with men, with boys. Look at the divorce rate right now. You know what I'm saying? And all because men don't know how to open up. Because we don't know how to express our feelings. We don't know how to express ourselves. Because when we do, we frowned upon. We looked at as we weak. You know what I'm saying? So we keep it to ourselves, and that's how you getting with the suicide rate and they popping these pills and doing all these drugs because they trying to suppress everything. They trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? So this is their only way. This is their outlet. I can figure it out. I'm gonna take my frustration out. I'm gonna shoot me somebody. I'm gonna kill me somebody. But all I really want to do is talk. All I really want my dad to do is say, like you said, speak some great affirmations over my life. Tell me how great I am. Tell me that you proud to be my dad, that I'm proud that you proud to have me as a son. You know what I'm saying? Even when I make that mistake, you wrap your arms around me and say, son, it ain't nothing but a mistake. We all make those. You know what I'm saying? And man, you gonna learn from it and we gonna keep it moving. But when you don't have that, now you growing up like I did on the south side of Chicago with no guidance, with, you know what I'm saying, with the gun on my hip, throwing up gang signs, running the streets, smoking weed, drinking at 14, 15, 16 years old, because you don't have that body, you don't have that man figure to look up to and say, man, that's the ideal man. I wanna emulate him as a man. So guess what? The men that I seen, they sold drugs and popped pistols and played and had 50 women with a pocket full of money with a fancy car. So guess what? That's what I want to do. I want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm thinking that's what a man is. A man, if you don't have that, you less than a man. You know what I mean? So it's like,
that's definitely right, man. It's crazy how many men I meet, you know what I mean, or seen, you know what I mean, on the social media. You know, they're 45, they just now getting a job. There ain't no pitching in the streets. There ain't no 401k in the streets. You know what I mean? Once you get booked, there ain't no money. You know, they're going to take your cars, they're going to take all your money. And what you have then?
Yeah.
What if you get hurt?
That's true.
Ain't no health benefits, man. I mean, that's why I be trying to tell these brothers, man. I tell them, you know, I'm only 30, but I tell to the young people, I said, man, get you a 401k, get you some life insurance. That's, you know what I mean? You gotta have something to pass on to these kids, man. If you want to keep on throw your dick on the plate, you gotta have something to give to your kids when you're gone. That life insurance is gonna be there for them. You know what I mean? Travel the world, man. It's bigger than the, you know what I mean, Chicago, South Side, North Side, Baltimore. It's bigger than that. You gotta expand your mind, man. It's bigger than a block, man. That's why I be trying to tell them, man.
And even with how you just broke it down with the life insurance policy, right? Like I said, I got 11 children, right? So the day after Thanksgiving, man, I had like 8 of my kids at the house with me, and we sat down and we chopped it up. So I told them, I said, man, this what y'all do. I said, cause we go to these financial literacy classes. So I told my kids, I said, this what y'all do. It's 8 of y'all here. Y'all all get $1 million. Y'all get $1 million insurance policy on Pops. I say y'all 4 get one, and y'all 4 get one. It's $1,000 a month. You know what I'm saying? I say y'all pay y'all $250. Y'all pay y'all $250, and y'all and y'all be the beneficiaries of the $1 million insurance policy. I plan on leaving here before y'all. I don't plan on none of my kids dying before me. You know what I'm saying? So guess what? When it is my time to check up out of here, when God do call me home, and it's my time to check up out of here, I'm going to check up out of here. Even though y'all might not want the money, y'all wish our dad could stay here forever. But the reality is I'm not going to stay here forever. I'm not going to be here forever. But when I do leave, I leave y'all a bag. You know what I'm saying? On top of the policies that I already have on my own for my children. You know what I'm saying? So these are things that we have to teach. We have to teach these kids that, because in reality, they don't know. Just like you just said about the 401, man, I was just sitting down with some students at my school right before I came home, and I was just breaking that down to them about the streets and everything. I say, man, tell me, is it a 401k in that? Is it a pension in that? Is it a retirement plan in that? You know, when I got kidnapped and put in the trunk at 18 years old, man, I got kidnapped and put in the trunk of a car, beat with best and left for dead for drugs and money. They took 100 and some thousand for me. Guess what? Not only was all my money gone, but all them niggas that I ran the street with, they turned their backs on me. I sat in the hospital for 6 weeks by myself. Not even my own mama came and seen me. You hear me? So my goal is out here is to push it to these youth and give it to them in the raw, give it to them in the real. What I'm gonna give to you is raw and uncut, but I'm gonna give it to you from experience. But I'm gonna also give it to you and I'm gonna deliver it with love. Cause I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to your heart. Cause see, when your heart, when I can penetrate the heart, everything else gonna follow and play. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing you got to understand is, bro, a person don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And if a person can really, especially a street person, they really know if you care about them or not. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not coming at these youth trying to talk at them. I'm trying to talk to them. Let me feel what's the problem is. Let me show you how we could turn this around. Because I was in a situation like you before. You know, that's one thing. It was like 5 little boys I was talking to today. And the stuff that they were saying, it was just way out. But one thing I kept on telling them, I remember at your age, at 12, 13 years old, I was making these same decisions, saying the same wild stuff out your mouth because you think you wilding me. But you really not wilding me. You really making yourself look like a fool. But I can understand where you coming from because you 13 years old, you don't got no guidance, and you think what you doing is the slickest thing in the world. But let me help y'all. Let me help y'all get it together. You know what I'm saying? So I love telling my testimony, telling them about my life or where I came from. And now look where I'm at right now, how I'm traveling the country, doing motivational speaking. I got 2 books, you know what I'm saying? One of my books, you know, The Devil Thought He Had Me. If you can see that, you know, The Devil Thought He Had Me, man. This is my book, man. And I'm writing another book right now, you know. And
so what made you get to writing the book? So let's get to that. Let's jump in there. Let's talk about that.
Well, you know what, bro? What happened was I ended up moving to Milwaukee, right? And in 2010, my best friend in Chicago, he was followed to the crib. The rival gang we was into it with followed him to the crib. They gunned him down in his driveway while he was on the phone with his sister, right? So I knew I was next. I knew I was next because me and him had just did too much in the street. Everybody was looking for us. We looking for them. They looking for us. So I knew I was next. But I knew I had, let me see, I had about 6, 7 children at the time. And I knew my kids needed me. So I said, you know what? If I don't leave Chicago, I'm going to end up going to jail for the rest of my life or somebody going to kill me. My mom was in Milwaukee. I had some siblings that was in Milwaukee. So, man, I talked to my baby mama, and I ended up packing up, and I just left. I had just got out of Cook County jail. I was in Cook County jail for like 52 days. I had got caught with 2 pounds of weed and a pistol. Took the police on a high-speed chase. They ended up catching me. I had 2 pounds of weed and a pistol in the car. After I got out of Cook County jail, man, I had came to the realization, man, it's time to go. Like, it's time to go, man, or you ain't gonna last much longer here, you know? So, man, I came to Milwaukee in 2011 and really came up here on the same stuff, really. You know what I'm saying? Still hustling, still doing my thing. Man, had made like 300,000, right, bro? I had made like 300,000 selling heroin, me and my little brother. And, man, then one day, bro, I didn't have nothing. I ain't go to jail. Nobody robbed me. I ain't had nothing. I was going through a deep depression. I was in the hospital, bro. My mama was taking me back and forth in the hospital. Like that depression you was talking about earlier, bro. I battled with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm back and forth in the hospital, man. I'm talking about depression, suicidal thoughts, the whole 9 yards. So this young lady that I was dating up here, she said, man, come go to church with me. Right? So I go to church. I'm listening to the man of God speak. So she asked me, like, yeah, would you come back? I'm like, yeah, I'll come back, man. Dude was pretty smooth. He was talking about a lot of stuff. He was talking about one of his brothers that was in jail that had like 200 and some years. And
golly.
Yeah, man. He was a street guy. So, man, I was able to relate to him, you know. And, man, I came back June 29th, 2014, man, and I gave my life to Christ. And, man, when I gave my life to Christ, bro, it was like the weight of the world lifted off my shoulders. Now, from when I was 18, when I got put in the trunk, when I laid in that hospital bed for them 6 weeks, I had already told myself that I wanted to write a book. I'm like, I want to write a book. I want to help kids not have to go down this road that I went down. Right then and there, my mindset was switching, but I didn't know an alternative because I've never seen one. So we gonna fast forward. Now I'm in this church, and as soon as I get to this church, the first lady of the church, she had just wrote her first book.
Mm-hmm.
So now this is how God just start putting stuff together. You know what I'm saying? God will always put you around people that's doing what you trying to do, or they going where you trying to go. It's just up to you. Are you willing to take that advice, or you know what I'm saying, move in those steps? So man, I went to the man, I went and got me a laptop, and man, I started writing. I
Mm-hmm.
started writing, man. I started writing out the whole book. And it ended up being 50 chapters. So I broke it down into 2 books. The Devil Thought He Had Me, Volume 1 and 2. Man, I was #1 on Amazon for about 10 weeks. Um, man, I had over 100 interviews, radio interviews. I was featured on the 700 Club. Um, and man, a couple people done reached out to me trying to turn the book into a movie, but you know, we just gonna keep on going until I get the price that I want, you know. And
That's good, man, because people sell it for peanuts. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
man, but you
Let's
so
just say,
you gotta understand this, bro. You can't come to me with no 200,000-300,000 when I done had that type of money before. You
mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? If you coming to me, man, one company reached out to me, bro. I had entered into this contest, and I had gave them a chapter of the book.
Mm-hmm.
And bro, they had offered me like 300 some thousand, and the book wasn't even wrote. The book wasn't even completely written
Mm-hmm.
off a chapter. So if you offering me 300 some thousand off a book that ain't even finished written yet, imagine what you gonna make off the book.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So when you doing when like I'm not budging off my price, because
Mm-hmm.
I know what they gonna do off of the book. You know what I'm saying? Once they make it into a movie. But if they don't, if nobody ever get it, man, if I could just get that one young man or that one young lady or that one mother or father to read my book,
Mm-hmm.
and they could see the telltale signs of their sons or their daughters going down this wrong road, or I can get that youth to read my book and say, man, this guy Wendell White, he been through hell, but look at him now, and I can get them to change my life. That's worth more than all the money in the world. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? I would never put I would never put a price tag on one of these kids' soul. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and that's who I'm trying to reach, man. I'm trying to reach these youth out here to let them know, man, you got greatness that lives in you. You was born with greatness in you. Just get around some people that can help you. You know what I'm saying? Bring that greatness out of you. Get around some people that can recognize, because 9 times out of 10, it's gonna always be people that recognize the greatness in you before you recognize the greatness in you. The best thing I ever did in my life, bro, was got me a mentor, because
That's
he
that's big right there.
yeah, because he began to he first of all he held me accountable,
Mm-hmm.
and then he began to see things in me that I didn't see in myself, but he brought it out of me. And
Mm-hmm.
then once I got to recognize the greatness that really lived in me, now I can sit down and tell these kids, I can tell my kids every day before I drop them off at school or before they get on the bus, how great they are. Be the leader today. Man, somebody's dependent on you to do the right thing today. You know, choose your friends wisely. Now I can talk to them like that. And because they see me doing it every day, now they start taking the whole of it. So I'm proud when my son just graduated with a 30 on his SATs, full
Mm-hmm.
scholarship to Morehouse. You feel what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Got my other daughter, my other son and daughters, man, straight A students playing basketball, doing this and doing that. So that makes me a proud dad, because I was able to change my life. Now I'm changing the lives of everybody that's connected with me. You know what I'm saying?
And
And
that's the biggest thing, changing your branches when your tree. You know what I mean? That's the biggest thing to so your future great grandkids don't have that the same don't gotta keep on repeating the same history, man. Because there's a lot of people in the generation curses not trying to break that, man. So it's big for you to really push that on your kids, man. Grades in school, man.
because bro, in reality, man, a lot of us don't even recognize what's going on. We just think that's a part of life. It
Mhm.
becomes part, and it's not normal. You know what I'm saying? To It's not normal to live in poverty. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? It's not normal to live in lack.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? It's not normal to do none of those things. But we've been raised to believe that, lack, man, black people, we could do a lot with nothing. Man,
Mhm.
that's not living.
Nah.
I don't know why we make that believe like that's living or something. Like that's not living. We've been taught like, man, we live in these private neighborhoods and all this and all that. Man, it ain't our neighborhoods that's private. It's our mindset that's private. Because if you look at the neighborhoods, all the nail shops, all the fast food restaurants, all that is in odd neighborhoods. All the liquor stores, whatever community that you live in, if anybody that view this podcast interview, man, and if you live in a not so good neighborhood, go out there to what you consider a good neighborhood. You ain't gonna see no liquor stores. You ain't gonna see no whole bunch of restaurants. No whole bunch of you're not gonna see no nail salons. You're not gonna see none of that because they don't have none of that. But it's all in the neighborhoods, and it ain't. That's why I say it ain't our neighborhoods that's probably, it's our mindset. Our mindset messed up, man. We have to understand where and when to spend our money. You know what I'm saying? We spend our money on stuff that don't matter, that don't hold value. You know what I'm saying? Jordans don't hold value. You know what I'm saying? Why you don't got the life insurance? You know what I'm saying? Why you ain't investing in your kids' college? Why you ain't investing in your business? You know what I'm saying? Why you ain't investing in all this, man? I got sisters and cousins right now, man, that work for nursing homes and stuff like that. And I ask them all the time, why you just won't open your own business? You've been doing that for 10 years. Why you won't just go start your own assisted living houses? You know what I'm saying?
They'd rather get paid.
They'll rather get paid because they done got into that lazy flow where they would rather depend on somebody else instead of being their own boss. So that's what I'm on every day, bro. I work for the Boys and Girls Club, but at the end of the day, bro, I'm not trying to be the CEO of the Boys and Girls Club. You know what I mean? Every day I'm still out here. I'm pushing my book. I'm pushing my mentoring program. I'm pushing everything that has to do with me that's going to benefit me and my family for the rest of our lives and for generations and generations. Because like you said, I want my great grandkids to be like, man, Papa Wendell made sure we were straight at the end. You know what I'm saying? And that's the mindset we got to start having as a culture. And we don't have that. We live in this microwave society. We want everything right now, and don't nobody want to work for nothing. So all of our youth right now, everybody want to be a rapper. Everybody want to be LeBron James. And the reality is, man, that's not reality. Everybody, LeBron James is an every 20-year gift that God blessed the NBA to have. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't be DMX. Everybody can't be Lil Durk. You know what I'm saying? Those are gifts that was given to them guys by the Almighty God. Everybody don't have that gift. But instead of you finding out what is your gift and what is your purpose and your passion, you chasing money. And as long as you chase money, you will never be rich.
No, man. That's why I tell people, man. Till you get out of them streets, you would never know the value of money. Show me you can balance a checkbook. Show me you can balance a 40-hour check, a 60-hour check.
Yeah.
That's gangster right there.
Yeah, and that's real, bro.
Let me see you can handle conflict of, you know what I mean, saying, you know what I mean, oh, this white man told me I gotta work here. I gotta be at work at this time. Show me you got some discipline. That's what I want to see. It's not hard to go to sleep at 8 in the morning and get back up at 12 in the morning, 12 p.m. That ain't no hard work.
Absolutely.
So, you know what I mean? That's the biggest thing, man. The youth is, man, we don't know our worth, man. We had great adventures. We had, you know what I mean, George Carver, great minds, did great things in our community, but we're trying to be, like you said, we're trying to be Dirk. We're trying to be LeBron.
But the thing about it, bro, the whole thing about it is we got disconnected after like the 90s. Like, bro, the whole culture became disconnected. Like, it's a real disconnect because these kids don't even know who a George Washington Carver is. They barely know who. Only thing they could tell you about Martin Luther King is he had a dream. You know what I'm saying? And majority of them think that he had a real dream. They don't know. They don't even know that was a speech. You know what I mean? So it's the disconnect.
We had our own city. They don't even know we had our own city.
Right.
In Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. You know what I'm saying?
Like Wall Street. They don't know nothing about that, man.
And the thing about it, bro, it's just the disconnect. We have been so disconnected. So it's a lot of the stuff that and this is where the parenting come in at, because as a parent, it's not the teacher's job to parent your children, teach your children, and discipline your children. The teacher's job, only one thing to do is to teach our children, bro. They can't come to school and parent to them and discipline them at the same time, because now where do the teacher come in at? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like if you just watch how school have taken homework away from the kids, they don't even give kids homework no more, because people think homework was really about, you know, an assignment that the teacher sent home with a child. That's not even what homework is. Homework was they did send an assignment home, but it was when mama and daddy and brother and sister, we all came to the table and we talked about our day. We released everything that happened in our day before we went to bed. Mama was cooking or daddy was cooking, and one of the other parents helping the kids with the homework, and little Bobby telling you, mama, this what happened at school, and little Suzanne, she telling you, mama, this boy hit me, and she breaking down the life to her, saying, yeah, baby, he probably just like you, but you know, you just keep your mind on them books, and you know what I'm saying? That's homework. Now everybody go to bed feeling a part of something. Now kids don't get homework no more because there's nobody there to help them with the homework. You know what I'm saying? There's nobody to sit them down and ask them how they day. What you do today? Did you eat your lunch? Did the teacher break that down to you? Did this happen? Did that happen? Man, I deal with 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, bro, that can't read or write. That's 8th graders reading at 1st and 2nd grade levels. So
no kid left behind.
So every day, but see, the thing about it is we can't even blame that on the No Child Left Behind. That's parenting.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, how do you have a 12 or 13-year-old that lives under your household, and you saying you sending this kid to school every day and you don't know this kid can't read or write? That's impossible. That's why I love my kids' school. At parent-teacher conference, if you don't come to the parent-teacher conference, your kids can't come back to school till you come to the parent-teacher conference. I work in the school every day. Kids, we have parent-teacher conference. We got 200 kids in the school, bro. We might see 10 parents. How invested are you in your child? See, that's the thing, bro.
If they don't want to raise them, you know who's gonna raise them?
Because, bro, we think black people really think investments are Jordans and iPhones and PlayStation 5. Those are not investments. You're investing in Sony. You're investing in Jordan. You're investing in Apple. You didn't invest in that child. See, love is not spelled Love. Love is spelled Time. Are you investing your time into your child? Are you investing that time with them? Do you sit them down at night and you talk to them? Do you sit them down and talk to them about their problems? How often do they hear that you love them and sincerely say that? Or do they hear you get on my nerves all day? You get on my nerves. You make me sick. You look just like your daddy. I can't stand you. You look just like your mama. I can't stand you. So now they raising up with this complex saying, my mama don't even like me. My daddy don't even like me. She tell me she can't stand me every day. You feel what I'm saying? Because we're not investing in our kids, bro. We're investing in everything but our kids. Every child wants structure. They just don't know how it looks. And it's up to us as a parent to show them what structure looks like.
Exactly. And that's the biggest thing, because you know it, you know what I mean, going to jail, you gonna listen to somebody. It's an old head in there. They're gonna give you the discipline regardless. So you got, you know what I mean? It's everywhere is a hierarchy. You know what I mean? Even if it's on the streets in corporate America, you want to listen to somebody.
Right. Absolutely. And that's the truth, bro. You just praying hope that man, it don't be too late. Yeah. It don't be I got to listen to somebody after they just slammed that gavel and gave me 50 years. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody one of your cousins or something got to learn because they putting you 6 feet under. You know? So it's like, man, you try to reach these kids as much as you can, but at the end of the day, one thing that I do, bro, I know this, I can't save nobody. That's the only person to save is Jesus. I can't save nobody. Only thing I do is try to talk to them and give them my advice. And it's up to, see, I plant the seeds, somebody else gonna water the seeds, God gonna get an increase. And that's what we do as people. I can't try to plant the seeds, water the seed, and get an increase. I can't do all that. Even if it's 10 years from now, them seeds that I know I'm planting every day, they gonna manifest, they gonna grow. I just got to let them grow at their time, because guess what? Even when somebody was talking to me at 12, 13 years old, I ain't want to hear that. It took me all the way till I was 32 to change my life. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of them kids gonna look at you and just be real. They're gonna call you a nut ass nigga. You old dusty nigga. That's what they're gonna say. That's what the youth gonna say. Just keep it honest. They don't want to hear none of that shit. They worry about right now. And it's the sad thing is, it's gonna take them to take a couple scuff knees to realize they ain't no joke.
You know why a lot of them don't listen, bro? Because for so many years nobody listened.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody listened to them. So they done got to the point where, why should I listen when nobody listened to me? That's why I was saying early, man, you have to allow your child to have a voice. You have to allow them to articulate themselves, not be disrespectful, but articulate themselves. Like, man, you see stuff, you see white families and stuff, and you hear their daughters and their sons, man, I hate you, and this, and they don't get mad. They give them a few minutes and they come in the room. I don't agree with that. You don't tell your parents you hate them or nothing like that. But one thing about that is they're letting them vent. They're letting them get it off their chest. They want to figure out what's wrong. They ain't telling you, I'm gonna beat the shit out you. Who you think you talking to? This, that. Now, do I agree with them saying that they hate their mamas and they get on their mamas? Their mamas get stuff get on their nerves. No, I don't agree with that. It's the way that you do it. But if you watch them, they don't get mad when they kids curse them out and do all that. They try to figure out, why are you doing that? And us, on the other hand, we saying, man, I wish you would. I'd kill you. No, figure out why this little boy is so angry. Figure out why this little girl is so angry. I was talking to a little girl at my school like 2 weeks ago, and she just was rawed up. I brought her in my office. I said, sweetheart, what's wrong? Talk to me. Why are you so angry? She broke down. Mr. Wendell, I'm just tired. I'm tired. She 11 years old, bro. She tired. I got to get up, cook for her sister, get her sister dressed. Mama always yelling and screaming at her. She going through this. Mama, every time something not going right with the little sister, the mama putting her hands on her and duking her up and doing all that. At 11 years old, bro, she already tired. Talking about she don't want to be here no more.
God damn.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the stress that we put on our kids, because we're making them, you making them be grown, but then telling them to be a child. How fair is that to a kid?
Yeah.
She watching your daughter, she cooking for your baby, she making sure your baby got clean clothes and stuff like this all day. But then as soon as she articulate herself like an adult, you telling her, I wish you would, I'll break your motherfucking neck. You a child, stay in a child's place. Well, listen, you need to come get this little girl that I'm taking care of like my daughter. You know what I'm saying? And that's the stuff, bro.
You definitely forcing them to go to school, man.
And that's the stuff as adults, bro, that we don't even understand the stress that we put on our own kids, along with society and the way that the whole world is, and they trying to live up to these likes on social media. You know, if they don't get a certain amount of likes and all this gonna drive them crazy. They don't even got no identity. They don't even know who they are, because when they look at their mama or they look at their daddy, they don't even know who their daddies are. They don't even know who their mamas is. And their daddies and their mamas can be staying in the same house with them. But guess what? Their daddies and their mamas don't even know who they are, because they live a whole different lifestyle. They life is based off the rappers and the singers. And who are you? Who are you, daddy? Tell me who you are. And guess what? The average person, bro, and you know this, they don't even know who they are. And they 30, 40 years old, and they still wander around in life because they don't have an identity. So how is the kids gonna have an identity? A lot of this stuff we blame on the children, but man, it's the parenting that needs to take 99% of the blame on what's going on out here in our society with our youth. Man, the kids just make up the 1%. The child only gonna do what you allow them to do. You know what I'm saying? This child didn't come out the womb disrespectful. that was taught. You know what I'm saying? So man, we in a rough place, but man, it could be everything is figure outable. You know what I'm saying? We could figure it out.
And I appreciate this conversation with you, brother Wendell White. But how can they reach and get that book, man, and dive into that, man?
Man, my book is on Amazon.com, man. You can go to that, man. Wendell White. Go to Wendell White. The Devil Thought He Had Me, Volume 1 and Volume 2. And you can purchase the book off that, man. You can follow me on my social media at Arthur Wendell White on Facebook, or Wendell W_24 on my Instagram page. And man, I always, man, every day, man, I'm putting a word up there, a word of encouragement, man, just encouraging people for the day. And man, just follow me, man. And man, I'm just trying to help you grow one day at a time. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna take our time, we're gonna be intentional about growing, and we're gonna be consistent about growing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just trying to, like I always say, if I could change the way you think, I could change the way you live.
And that was a much needed word, man. Just you telling us a little bit of your backstory and how you made this book, man. And because it's a lot of people need to, even if they don't publish it, need to write down, you know what I mean, what happened to them to get that release, man.
Yep.
You gotta release that, man. That
That's true,
trauma.
man.
And you know what I mean, even myself, sometimes I say some shit what you know what I mean, my parents or I see my family went through, and I try to take that shit to my kids, and I said, no, 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 we ain't doing that shit. You know what I mean? We ain't doing
Absolutely.
that. But
Absolutely.
it's so beat it in you. You know what I mean? It's so beat it in you. You know what I mean? Even I don't even live in my you know what I mean my old neighborhood, my old you know what I mean hood and stuff like that no more. But when I told them I was leaving, I felt like you remember classic music movies, uh, uh, Menace to Society, and you know what I mean, all the movies. When you notice, you know what I mean, motherfucker, you about to leave out of that gutter. They start resenting you. You know what I mean? They try to push you back in the barrel. No, man, I need experience things from I gave you 20 years of my life. like I can't be around the drama. I can't be in Saga and Gomorrah no more. I gotta see a new land. You know what I
And,
mean?
and bro, you just think about the millions of people, bro, that that's they normal every day.
Mm-hmm.
Chaos is they normal. You know what I'm saying? Like foolishness is they normal. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
just normal to them. That has just became normal. It's just like a woman getting beat on. Like that's her normal. She know that's normal for her. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people that we encounter and we talk to, bro, they had never had that mindset of change.
Mm-hmm.
They had never had that mindset because they feel like this is it. I don't supposed to do better. I don't supposed to have better. Even when you look at our rap stars and stuff, man, they dying and they getting killed and they going to the federal penitentiary
Mm-hmm.
because instead of them going back to help the community, they go back and destroy the community even more. You know what I'm saying? They go back and buy all the drugs and all the guns instead of saying, you know what, man, I'm gonna build this school, man, and I'm gonna build this trade school for the guys in the hood, man. And hey, man, y'all go get these trades, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna build $1 million school. Y'all go get these trades. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go get this financial literacy. Y'all go get this. Y'all go get these parenting classes. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go get this stuff under y'all belt because I want to better my community. But instead, man, we get millions and millions of dollars and we take it and we go destroy the community even more. And that right there, man, that's not by accident. That's set up by the people, you know what I'm saying, that's running the record label. You know what I'm saying? If you talking about going to better community, you think they finna give you $50 million? Hell no. They wanna hear you talking about kill the nigga. I'ma shoot the nigga with the 30, my ops and all this and all that, because they know that's the real life that you living. So we'll give you sums of millions of dollars so you can go buy all your click switches with 30s, and you know what I'm saying, and y'all oozing up the block and killing one another. But you go do something right with that money, man. They gonna cut that water off real short. But man, that's when we got that change mentality we was just talking about. Man, you got to know, man, if I could trick them, I could beat them. Man, why be one millionaire when it could be 50 of us? You know what I'm saying? Let's go change the whole community. Let's go change the whole hood. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, man, that's why it's guys like me and you that, man, once we get on that plateau, once we blessed with the millions of dollars, okay, this what we gonna do, man. I got something for us, man. I got this mentoring program for y'all, man. I got this this program for y'all to get in, man, and y'all getting these trays and, you know, let these expunges off your background, and, man, we gonna now we can build our own cities. We can do this and we can do that. But, man, at the end of the day, they got to know that somebody out there that want to help them do that. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I'm just one of those guys that, man, when I ain't gonna say if, but when God blessed me like that to help, man, I'm going back to save generations, man. You know what I'm saying? Not just mine, man. I gotta go to cities all over this world, man, and get it cracking. You know what I'm saying? To let these cats know, man, we gonna put these guns down. We gonna stop killing each other, man. And we gonna do what they've been saying. They keep on saying, if you want to hide something from a nigga, put it in the book. Let me show y'all what happened when I start picking up these books. I read a book a month. 12, that's 12 books a year. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't read no fictional books. It's all about growth and building, and how to build character, and how to build yourself, and how to build your family and build your kids up. It's all about growth. Every day that I wake up, bro, it's about growing me. How can I be better than I was? How can I be better today than I was yesterday? That's every day. That's my lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I put in me. You know what I'm saying? From now on, I done put all that foolishness in me for 20-some odd years. 20, like you said, man, you had 20 years of me. You know what I'm saying? I joined the game when I was 12. I started getting myself together till I was 32. That's 20 whole years. I'm throwing my life down the drain doing nothing. So now guess what? I owe it to myself. I owe it to my kids to dedicate the next 20 years to making us millionaires, to make us so the White family, the White last name could be a household last name. I owe it to them. You know what I'm saying? And I owe it to God for even sparing my life, that grace and mercy that he showed me that I shouldn't even be here. But I'm still here to tell my story, to tell my testimony. So, man, we off and running, and that's what we on.
And I appreciate you giving me the time, man, to let the people, you know what I mean, who, you know what I mean, stop by, looked at the chat, your story, man, and how you changed that mind, man. It's great, man, because you see a lot of old heads can't keep their feet off that, you know, off that sidewalk and jump right back onto a car and get right back in the same situation. So big, you know, big shout out to you, man, for changing that whole mind, man. It's hard,
appreciate it, bro.
Definitely
appreciate
hard.
Appreciate it.
But, man, I appreciate you coming on, man, and hopefully you have a good rest of your week, man. Have a good holidays with the family, man. And again, I appreciate you coming on and telling your story, man.
Appreciate you, bro, man. Happy holidays to you and your family, and to all your listeners out there, man. Man, y'all have a safe and blessed holiday, man. And, man, don't do nothing crazy, man. Just think about where you going before you go. Some places, man, even auntie house, man, just think about it, man. You come to unify. We ain't come to divide. We've been divided enough. You feel me?
Yeah. So, man, go check out his book, Wendell White book. What's the name? The Devil Can't Have Me again. What's the name of the book again?
The Devil Thought He Had Me, Volume 1 and 2, Wendell White. You can get it on Amazon.
And this has been another episode of Uncensored Podcast, and we're out. Have a good night, guys.
All right, broski.